going on, guys? This is Cody, and today I'm going to be doing a movie review. The review is going to be Blair Witch. I just saw this movie last night. So the movie's about a guy named James. He goes out with his friends out to the woods in Burkittsville, Maryland. 20 years after the original Blair Witch found footage came out, to go look for his sister because he suspects that she is still alive out in the woods. If you haven't seen the original Blair Witch, his sister basically went missing, so he just goes thinking 20 years later looking for her. So my likes about this movie, they used I like the camera use in this movie. They had like little earpieces to show everyone's basic perspective throughout the movie. They used a drone, a DJI, I believe 3 drones to kind of show the forest itself, and then somebody had like a camera at all times on, just to basically give you like a basic overall perspective throughout the whole entire movie itself. And it was very more modern and kind of like update as far as how most movies should be nowadays. Like the original Blair Witch was found footage, so they had the older camcorders with the actual tapes, so it looked like a tape and stuff like that. And, they had the numbers up in the corner and stuff like that. Now, that's really my only my only other real good is they actually had like real, I guess, real life moments where you would be scared. Like they had claustrophobia throughout the movie, more towards the end. This is a small spoiler, just a heads up right now. There's a part where one of the girls gets stuck, or she gets thrown into a hole, and she's basically has to crawl her way out, and she's in there, and it's very claustrophobic for her, and you can tell that. And for some people who are extremely claustrophobic, it might make you cringe. It didn't necessarily make me cringe, but it makes you think. How would how would you feel in that sort of situation? Being in like a tight, cramped space like that. So for my dislikes, they really, they took the whole found footage thing and put it over the top. They went too far because the Blair Witch, the original, made it so big because it was a first of its kind. People thought it was actually real at the time. And with this third installment, they still tried to do that, which I can understand. They're trying to kind of make sort of a remake per se from the original, just to give it the feel itself. But a lot of people nowadays, you kind of get an idea of what's gonna happen, and exactly like like with Paranormal Activity and with those other like all those other movies. Like once you see the first one, then there's a second one, then people start to realize well, this obviously isn't real. So they went over the top with the whole found footage deal, which I can understand. They're trying to do that. Another thing I didn't like, another spoiler, is they do show the Blair Witch itself in the movie. The only understanding I have is in the original they didn't show it, which is good because it gives you that whole perspective of, yes, it might entail that people do want to know what it looks like, but if you don't show it nowadays, people aren't gonna like it as much because people want to see that sort of stuff. Um, but as far as this movie goes, I wouldn't I wouldn't recommend it 100%. The original is definitely gonna be the best because um, it's a slow build up, stuff like that. This one had jump scares left and right. It was more built around a real like modern day horror that you would expect. So my review on this is going to be, now I'm being very courteous about this out of 5 review. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. I would give it a 1.5, but I'm going to give it a 2. If you would like to see this, it's still in theaters at the moment. See it in theaters because it's always good, because the audio quality is a lot better in the theaters. If you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video.